Welcome again to the TÜV SÜD Insights at the World Hydrogen Congress in Rotterdam. Now I'm with Antoine from Hynamics. Antoine, it's really nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me here.
And let's talk a bit about your background, because you've been with EDF a long time and you've always been around something decarbonization and new energies, green buildings, electric vehicles, and now Hynamics and hydrogen. So what attracted you to this new role in hydrogen?
My background is energy. I'm Antoine, by the way. I'm the CEO of Hynamics Germany. And Hynamics is the business arm of the EDF Group for hydrogen. I've been in Berlin for almost 3 years now. And so started as a physicist. And at EDF, you talk a lot about power, as you can imagine, and decarbonized electricity. So effectively, I've been working always on innovations. I'm driven by innovation, and that's how I ended up into the hydrogen world. Perhaps just in one sentence, why the EDF Group is doing this. Electricity doesn't make it all, and we want to offer our customers decarbonization solutions. So beyond electricity, then hydrogen.
And it's going to be interesting because, I'm based in Germany, and I'm used to the system and the subsidies and the people complaining about a lot of different things. But now to get an outside-in view, how was your experience during the last years at Hynamics to access the German market and to realize projects, hydrogen projects in Germany then?
So we've been lucky enough because when we entered the German market, we entered through a project which was subsidized by the ministry, which is the Westküste project, well-known Westküste project in Heide, Schleswig-Holstein. So we started with a project which was already funded, and we experience, as every actor in this new ecosystem, everything is new. Really everything. So we have new partnerships, new ecosystems, bringing the power world with the, say, chemical world, if you allow me to use that. New financing, new technology, new contracts. Everything is new. So the learning curve has been steep, has been great. We are progressing. Could I say there's still one step to cross, to scale up? Demo projects are fine. Gigawatts projects are a bit far away. And we have now really to focus on say, reasonable projects.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Westküste 100 and gigawatt projects. We talked about it a bit before. Gigawatt projects are pretty hard to finance and to realize at the moment. So that's why we need to focus on local ecosystems and local projects. So what's your approach from Hynamics then on these projects?
Well, if I can take the example of Westküste, right? Yeah. So the Westküste project is a 30 megawatt, 30, at a refinery. So they're using the hydrogen in their own process. And quite simple on paper, changing gray for green hydrogen. But here you need different perspectives and different competencies. We need the power, so you need people understanding how power is produced with renewables. You need people to understand how an electrolyzer is running. You need people to transform that variability of the power into something which is a steady state molecule, because a refinery, I can't say to a refinery, tomorrow there's no wind and no sun, so sorry, you have to shut up. It's no way. So all these competencies need different people around the table. It took us about a year to understand ourselves. It took us an additional year to go into really the practical work. And it took us another additional year, so a third one, really writing down the contract. So that's how we experience.
Okay. And did you also experience, because we talk in the last year a lot about regulatory barriers, a regulatory framework that's not yet there to support hydrogen projects. So, what was your experience around this topic?
Yes, regulation is key. We love regulation in Europe.
True that.
I had some experience in the US where the approach is quite different. But here in Europe, we need that framework and that long-term framework. True. It's not about finger pointing, but yes, the regulation was late. I consider it as a collective responsibility. It's not only the lawmakers. The industry and everyone has to play his role. But now we have the regulation still in draft in Germany, as you know, with this BIMSCH 37.
Yeah.
Let's try. Let's try. We have some doubts on particular points. It's quite complex as a regulation. We could have expected to have something simpler. Just to go, again, I think the point is executing. We now have to execute and show we can do it. The regulation is necessary. I would love it to have a little bit simpler.
I can imagine. As always, there's one thing we're not good at is making things simple. That's definitely the case. Even if you take a look at, for example, the RFNBO discussion on a European level, which took a few years.
Absolutely.
And is still discussed a lot.
Absolutely.
But perhaps to finish this up, I mean, on Hynamics, because you also have a lot of other different interesting projects, like, for example, H2 ships, which is, my opinion, a quite forward-looking, interesting topic. But what are your plans for the next few years around hydrogen projects in Germany, but also on the expansions to different other European countries?
Hynamics, we are developing, investing, operating. These are what we are doing. And we segmented the market into three parts, say. One, transportation. Second is industry, so hydrogen for industry processes.
Yeah.
And third is e-fuels. So we have some filling stations already ongoing, in operation, and that's good because we have a feedback from the field. We now have a quite strong pipe of projects of these industry projects, 20, 30, 40 megawatts in Germany, in France, in the UK. And then there are long-term projects which are currently under development, 100 plus, e-fuels oriented. That's where we talk about imports, and because of our global footprint from the EDF side, we're going to enter these markets through the renewables generation, electricity renewables generation. So we are still a small company within a big corporate. Drawbacks, advantages. In that case, it's an advantage because we have that access to other markets. So that's how we go.
Okay, perfect. So I'm really looking forward to get some updates on the projects and the next steps for Hynamics. And so thank you very much, Antoine, for taking the time to discuss this with me.